Everybody, I am just coming on for a few minutes live, and of course, you know the game. I'm trying to get followers. I'm trying to grow my TikTok so I can get the word out of God more and more and more. Now, I'm currently, though, sharing a little of my life with you, sitting here waiting to get this heart monitor off. I've had it for 48 hours. Having some flutters and some heaviness in my chest a few weeks ago. Got better, probably the anxiety, but out of the abundance of caution, because I'm 54 years old, it was probably a good idea. I know it was a good idea to put this monitor on, even though after the first night sleeping with it, not so bad. My ability to adjust is just not as good as it used to be, so to speak, and I don't even know if it was really good. I think it was better. Like, I can tell I don't like change, and we call it set in our ways, right? Isn't that what it is? We just like things a certain way. And comfort, man. Comfort is the killer of it all. You know, it's just how it is. I'm just trying to relax and, just take it easy. I'm down to the last 3 hours. And 1 o'clock this afternoon, I can take this thing off me and go on with my life. Interesting day yesterday. I have a very low testosterone level, so I get treatments for testosterone, low testosterone, and my count was like high. Like the normal count for hemoglobin, when I say count, that's what I mean, hemoglobin, was like, it's supposed to be 15.5 is a good range, 15.5 to 17.2. Well, mine was 17.9. They pull off a pint of blood, or 450 milliliters, and then do another blood work, and it's still 17.9. So, got rid of some blood. And their tests showed that my levels didn't go down, which is very weird. They had to. I think it was the machinery there. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next day or two. Kind of scary. Can't continue the treatment until the blood levels, normal out a little bit. And I take a very low dose. I'm not into this Superman stuff. Most of our, body's muscle and everything is based on protein intake and diet, and I have a high protein diet, carnivore diet, and so that keeps the muscle on, 80, 90, probably 90% diet. I do a little bit of exercise, probably overdo it sometimes. I got to be careful because I got one shoulder that's going to be straight for sure. I got a right shoulder that may be operated on too. Those surgeries aren't as bad. They just poke a couple of holes in you, 2 or 3, I guess, with a razor or no razor, a laser or maybe a scalpel. I don't know, but they go in and they scrape that, all that inflammation and the stuff that causes the irritation, bone spurs and such. So, hopefully we can get it all worked out. So I'm not so stoved up. A couple of years ago, I had my second ruptured disc in my neck. I've got metal in my neck, and then I almost had to do back surgery this year, and I'm gonna try to be careful and not have to do that. I certainly had a nerve pinched off, and it was not good, and it was probably the deepest, most sickening pain that I've ever felt in my back. So hopefully that will be, I never had to do that, but who knows? One day at a time, right? So anyway, my name's Robert Owens. I'm from Paragould, Arkansas, and I am trying to grow my followers, and I will follow you back, and order to, share a little bit of my life, but share Jesus too. I usually do long messages on Sunday nights about 5 o'clock. on Facebook, and then I upload it to TikTok. So it's probably about 6 p.m. before it gets to TikTok, somewhere in that area. But of course, anything recorded and uploaded, it lasts forever. So it'll be on my profile. I have videos now. I am not some Bible scholar. I'm a practical person. I believe in the everyday, life, practicality. Learn as much as you can. But you got to be careful, man, because there's just so much out there. It can be discouraging, confusing, and such, trying to understand this. But we know there's a common decency that Christ requires. Follow those red letters, and you'll be doing everything you need to do and learn what you can along the way, But don't let that be the, thing you think you have to do. Learn so you can walk right before God. Other than that, it doesn't matter. And somebody be like, well, we're saved by grace. This is true, but there is a requirement to be the bride of Christ. Just like there's a requirement to be a spouse, whether you be a husband or a wife. There are certain guidelines you have to follow. And so that's what I try to focus on mostly, in some of the stories and some of the background stuff, and, a proper application, right? And sometimes it's seeing the story and how it unfolds in context. Really, is what you should do first, and then kind of absorbing it as how to learn a lesson for if something similar in your life comes up. Application should be the last thing we look for, because not every story told has to do with us or will ever do with us necessarily. But, two greatest commandments: love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself, will always be there, right? Amen. All right. I'm not going to be on here much longer, and then I'm going to download this live action, and I'm going to upload it to TikTok and my Facebook. Brother Rob, A Few Minutes with Rob on YouTube, and Robert Owens on Facebook. If you'd like to join me and follow me on those things, follow back, and we can go from there and do the best we can. You share your stuff, I share my stuff. I don't have a lot of time to go and watch all videos and read all posts that everybody makes, because almost 7,000 people on my Facebook page, and about 1,500 plus on TikTok, and it's hard to keep up with all that. And you're trying to add it, and you're trying to grow it, trying to make it, to where it can reach wide and far, and be able to reach people in my community all the way to all around the world. And that's the amazing thing about social media, right? We can reach people that we wouldn't probably ever know that we could reach. And hopefully, you're blessed and you're inspired to live for Christ. Amen. Well, I think those of you who have tuned in and have looked and joined in and just trying to check this old bearded man out. I'm just a simple dude trying to serve a holy God. All right. God bless you guys. Have a great day.